Dr. Adam Changing for the Empire Longevity Podcast. I think this is a fantastic story. We need to start progressing not only our health, but the health of the planet, of course. And one of the most toxic things we have around us is something we see every single day, and that's plastics. Some of the stats you're going to hear today are going to astound you. So I found a company which not only do I think are really cool, but I use. The company's called Sheets, Sheets. This is Laurian Videau from Sheets. Welcome to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go back. So first of all, I think this is a cool product. I use it for a couple things. One is, first of all, it does the job. It's a great, would you say detergent?
Absolutely, laundry detergent.
A great detergent. You have other products also. It's a great detergent. The other thing, it doesn't come in a bottle. What does it come in?
Comes in a cardboard box that's recyclable and compostable.
But it is not a liquid. It's actually a sheet that when you throw it into there, that the turbulence of the water itself, it makes all the bubbles that you ever wanted to have. Mm-hmm. How did 2019, a big year for you guys? What happened in 2019 that said we need to make this a kind of a thing?
Well, the story kind of started back a few years before that. So my husband is a retired Black Hawk pilot from the U.S. Army. During all of his time over there, he was doing a lot of flying. He flew in Iraq a lot. There's a lot of burn pits, a lot of trash is being burned everywhere, not just, by the military, but everywhere. I mean, it's just trash that they're burning to get rid of it because there's no other way to do it. And he is flying in all of that smoke and nastiness. So when he came back from the deployment, he noticed he was having a harder time running and keeping his breath while he was running, and his times were dwindling for his run time. So he went to the doctor, and one of his respiratory doctors basically told him that you have the lungs of a 70-year-old man from the burn pit damage from breathing in all of that smoke. And that kind of, it kind of sparked a few things. A little bit background on myself. I was born and raised in California on the beach in Santa Monica. So, a lot of times, on the weekends, my dad and I would walk the beach with trash bags and pick up trash. That was just kind of one of the things I've always done. Even if I just go hiking, no matter where I am, trash is always in my backpack because I pick it up wherever I go. So, we found out about Chris's lungs. It was one of those things like, we've really got to do something. There's got to be something we can do. And that's kind of where this came from was, how do we stop plastic? How do we stop the trash? How do we stop the pollutions? And my husband did a lot of, what are you talking about? Research. There you go. Research, found these sheets that have actually been used over in, Europe for a really long time. They've just never really caught on. Yep. And so we've done a lot of trials, a lot of different, samples, and we found the one that we liked the best, that we thought cleaned the best. And that's kind of where we went.
Absolutely fantastic. Again, I think it's a fantastic product. One of the things you have on, by the way, the website is sheetslaundryclub.com. Highly recommend you go there. Not only do they have the laundry, but they also have kitchen and self-care products also. Take a look at all of them. Is one of the stats you have on there is that there is, a dumpster full of plastic is discarded into the oceans every second. Every second. We thought the problem was bad. We are turning a blind eye that we are the problem.
Yes. Unfortunately, you are correct. That stat is right. And it's actually probably growing daily. Along with those stat, where you can take all like plastic drinking bottles, the water bottles, you can wrap the earth with all those bottles like 5 times because we're just, it's horrible. So definitely
that shit just don't break down, do it?
Never. That's the problem. It never breaks down. It's entering the oceans, it's entering the ecosystems, and it's not making anything better. It's making it worse. So
astounding, isn't it?
It is. It's gross. Absolutely.
Now you think about that. We can wrap the earth 5 times. A dumpster is going in every single second. So for the couple of minutes we've been talking, there have been trucks lined up just dumping the stuff in there. The other one I saw the other day was that a statistic was that what 10% is actually of plastics are actually recycled in America.
And it's actually lower than that. It is actually lower than that.
So
And
where's
a
it
lot of
go?
it doesn't go anywhere. It goes into the landfills. It's not being recycled the way that it should be. We've found that there are ways to recycle these plastics, but the technology to do this has actually been bought out by petroleum companies, and those petroleum companies are shelving that technology. Gee, I don't know why, but yeah, so that's happening. So I mean, there are ways that we could be recycling things, but it's not being put to use like it should be.
So why do you think, I'm not going to get into a big political, because I'm sure you could talk about this on a nonstop thing, but why do you think isn't there a better access to, isn't there a better product besides plastics? I know it's everywhere with everything, but
Mhm.
I mean, what if we went to a hemp base? Would that change things?
I think it would be an amazing idea. I think it would be great. The problem within there lies, the manufacturing and getting the facilities up running to do that. And it takes money, and it takes time. And then you also, okay, we're growing the hemp. It grows quite quickly.
Yep.
But then what do we do with it once we have it? Because we don't have the technology to make things as fast as we go through them as a society.
Yeah. Which is absolutely astounding.
Mhm.
You and I talked for just a moment before, but one of the places I did see you was on Shark Tank. I know we're not allowed to talk about that, but if you ever do, find the episode with Sheets on there. Let's go back to it. So you're talking. It started with at a son's t-ball game.
Yes, yes. So my husband and I my husband and I were and we actually owned a brick and mortar business for a little bit together. And my son was, gosh, he had to have been in kindergarten when he started t-ball. I think this was maybe his second year of playing, and one of the dads on the team, we kind of started talking with my husband and started helping him coach the team because my husband was coaching at the time, and we ran out of helpers, so this dad stepped in, and they started talking, and he was kind of in an e-com space. So he had his own business, his own e-com, his own website selling his own products. And my husband was like, "Hey, you know about e-com stuff. I want to do e-com stuff. So let's collaborate." And my husband pitched in the idea, and this guy was like, "This is probably the best idea I've ever heard. Let's do this." So they teamed up, and Sheets Laundry Club was born a few months later.
Only a few months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, we didn't exactly launch a few months later, but that's really kind of
Right.
where we started digging in, and really getting it going.
Yep. Yep. Love that. One of the things I do love, as you said before, is that not only the sheets are packaged, but what can we do with the box itself?
You can recycle it, you can compost it. It's not as quickly composting as some people would like to see, but it does compost within 6-7 weeks. It's just
It's pretty quick though, still.
right. It is. It's pretty quick, and especially when you've got other stuff in there as well. But even if you don't have a compost site available, as I know I don't in my neighborhood, because there's so many rules now with HOAs and all that fun stuff, you can't always compost, and we understand that. But if you do throw it away, if you do throw it into the trash and it goes to a landfill, it's going to decompose there. It's going to do what it needs to do there. And so it's not like you're adding to it, you're actually kind of helping. Along with the clamshell packages that we have a lot of our soaps in, those are compostable as well. And we have they're little cute little heart-shaped seed cutouts, and you can plant those if you want to, and little wildflowers will grow. Or even so, you throw it away, it goes into the landfill. You're now helping more composting happen, because those plants are growing and doing what they need to do to help break everything down.
Right. Right. Just a win all the way around with this.
We're
And
trying.
of course, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but why did you settle on the name Sheets?
Well, funny story enough was, hey, it's quite obvious, kind of, but at the same
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
So they are a sheet of laundry. So
Yep.
it's a single sheet that you're looking at. And it was going to be, funny enough, it was going to be named after our French bulldog Mo, and it was going to be Mo's Laundry Club or Mo's Country Soap or something like that. And it kind of got vetoed out. Like, well, no one's going to buy a dog soap. Like, and people are going to think it's for dogs. And so
Understood.
Sheets was born that way. Yep.
I think it's catchy, and I think it's right in the pocket right there.
Yeah.
Again, something I've used it for months so far. Really find out. I biggest thing I had to find out was how quickly I go through them. That was my learning curve I had to do with that. And I love it. I order it from you, and it's in my place. I'm in New York. It's in my at me within a couple of days. No problem whatsoever with delivery.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. What's going to be the next? What's the next big steps for the whole Sheets empire?
We're just trying to grow. We're trying to get the message out there. We're trying to get into retail. So for those that don't like the computer, don't like internet, don't like all that stuff, we're trying to get out more so that more people have access to this than just going online or buying through Amazon. We're definitely trying to get out there. We're in a couple of retail stores now. We're here in North Carolina at a store called Harris Teeter, and then we're up in the northeast-ish, like in the Meyer grocery stores. So we're in all of those as well. We are talking with some other big box stores that we're trying to launch into hopefully next year sometime. We're also trying to add some more products to our roster, some more cleaning products that are all going to be sheets based. So just trying to keep up with everybody else going out there, but trying to keep it plastic free.
So you would get into like a spray kind of cleaning product.
Well, we're going to try to stay away from the spray,
Yep.
only because that's a spray bottle, and the
Yep.
top of that bottle is plastic. So, there are companies that do have the spray, but they have the spray bottle, which is made of the glass, but then their top is still made of plastic and they break quite easily. So that's still ending up in the trash. So we're trying to find out a better way to do this. But really it's more like kind of like a refill type thing. So you've got your sheets, you put it into a bottle, or you just put it into a bucket when you need it, type of thing. Like our floor cleaner that we have a floor cleaner sheet that you just put into a bucket of water. I do have a spray bottle, but I found one on Amazon, I believe it was, that it's actually an aluminum spray, like a little
Huh.
trigger. So it's made of glass, it's aluminum. It's not cheap, but you know what, I'm not using plastic. So I will just routinely put some floor cleaner sheets in there, spray my floor, mop, if I don't want to use a bucket, if I'm just doing spot cleaning. So a lot of our other products that we're coming out with are going to try to stay with our sheet theme so that we're staying away from the plastic.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's it's crazy what you can do when you really put your mind to it. I've seen my husband do some crazy things, and like he'll be the first to tell you when he came up with this idea, I looked at him like, oh, what? And now I was like, this is awesome.
What was your mind frame as open as it is now, or as focused and driven as it is now about this, or did you have a big learning curve yourself?
As far as learning curve for business, absolutely. I am not a business person. I never wanted to be a business person. I was the one who
I never
I never wanted to
welcome to
be
the
a
business
business
world.
person. I wanted to go to work. I wanted to get paid. I wanted my paycheck. I wanted to go home, and that was
Not
it.
not think about it.
I never exactly. I didn't want the
Yes.
behind the scenes worry.
Yes.
And now that, we've started this, we learn something new every day.
Yes.
The people that we work with are amazing. We have an amazing team here. And we learn from each other every day. I've definitely been shown so many more things than I ever thought were possible, or things that you have to work around. Like, there's so many roadblocks that you have to keep jumping and jumping and jumping. You come up with this idea and you're like, hey, this will be great, this will be so fun and easy, and then you're like, oh wait, we have to do this, and then curve here and jump over this mountain. But as I mentioned earlier, like it's been a great path that we're down, and we're trying to make it better for everybody, to help those that are on the same path as us, to know that keep working at it and it's going to happen.
And what was your idea when you were on the beaches as a kid picking up the plastics? What was your viewpoint then as compared to now? Because I have to make the assumption sometimes you come home from work and go, my dear Lord, we are just screwing things up in the world.
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, it was gross, because
Yeah.
I'm a huge animal person. And I was like, man, these birds are eating it. It's going into the water. The fish are eating it. I was like, this really is just horrible. And, it never really got any better. There are so many people out there trying to make it better, but it's a small amount of people compared to the masses of people that just aren't aware of what's happening. Now, as an adult going to the beach, every time we go, we pick up trash. Same thing that I did as a kid, with my dad. I now do it with my son. And he'll even make comments like, man, why are people so gross? There's a trash can right there. And I was like, oh, it's kind of like at home when you leave your trash right next to the trash can. But yeah, same thing. But there are so many people out there that are doing the right thing, that I just hope that we can all get that to spread so that soon we have a better planet for the kids that are growing up in it now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A little bit of work now saves a planet later on.
Right.
Absolutely. It's called Sheets Laundry Club. I highly recommend you go there. I recommend you take a deep look at what they have. It's not that big of a change for you. I gotta tell you the truth. Going from someone who was a plastic bottle person to someone now who is a sheet person. Do we have t-shirts that say I give a sheet? Do we have those?
No, I wish we could. I really do wish we could. I think that was a plan to be kind of like a little gag thing to sell on the site. But I think we ran into some roadblocks with people taking it the wrong way. And so we didn't want to upset anybody about it. It's just the way the world is today, right?
Or give 2 sheets. I like that. Give 2 sheets about the planet. Oh, give 2 sheets about the planet. Did you guys think about that one?
I'm gonna pitch that one next time I see the marketing team.
Give 2 sheets about
That's right.
about the
And I'm
planet.
gonna give you all the credit for it.
Just send the checks directly to me. That'd be
I will do. But I just send you a couple free boxes. There you go.
that would be absolutely fantastic. It's called Sheets Laundry Club. I highly recommend you go there. I use the products. I would not bring a product on here unless I thought it was absolutely fantastic that I use it. You guys know me. I don't do that to you on here. And I think we really need to start. You've heard me say here, the followers of Empire Longevity, heard me say, it doesn't matter how healthy you are if you live in a toxic swamp. We're getting there, folks. Laurian Videau, I thank you so much for taking your time out, your expertise, your love of what you do. And any way that Empire Longevity can be of service to you, please let us know, and we will be more than happy to help you.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you letting me come on and say my spiel about plastic-free revolutions. Like, no more plastic, people. Let's get rid of it.
It is going to be work, but if we all do a little bit, it'll be absolutely fantastic. And it's something needs to have a line, a light shown on it, and we need to get to work. Thank you so much, and we'll be in touch very, very soon.
Alrighty. Thanks, guys.